Hey Pokedad fan club, it's me Pokedad, and today we're looking at a deck kind of redone. We're looking at Speed Entei again, and the reason why I'm getting it back up on the channel uh, is because it's actually doing quite well in cities. Um, Now, let me just give you a little bit of history if you're new to the channel. When this came out in Roaring Skies, I actually advocated this deck. It has changed a little bit, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same. Because the idea with Entei is that we want to use Heat Tackle for 130 damage. He's got the Theta double, so we can add 2 muscle bands on here, and he can hit for 170 damage. And you can get all this energy on turn 1 with a double colorless attachment and a blacksmith. And so it can actually make taking on EX decks pretty well, right at the 170 range. Now, I brought this out right when Roaring Skies came out, or was it Ancient Origins? I'm sorry, Ancient Origins. When this came out, so the last set, and it wasn't very popular back then. It was good, but the problem was we still had a lot of Toad, and this is a very item-based heavy deck. It's also fire, so it's weak to water. So it just didn't stand up to Toad very well. However, the meta has shifted quite a bit with the Jirachi promo now. At least in standard formats, we don't see Toad or Giratina quite as much. And so that has allowed decks like Vespiquen and Night March to run rampant because Giratina was one of the few counters to that. And now it's not quite as effective because of the Jirachi promo. However, Entei matches up pretty well against them because he can get, even if they knock an Entei out and you start from scratch, you can usually get another one going pretty quickly and easily take out a Joltik, or even a Pumpkaboo. Here's the cool thing is we can use Heat Tackle for 130, but Flame Screen here hits for 30, which is enough to take a Joltik out. And then we play 4 Muscle Bands since we have the Theta double, but we also play 3 Assault Vests. And Assault Vests reduce the damage by 40 if your opponent is using any special energy. So Night March typically uses special energy. So Flame Screen can knock out a Joltik. And then if you have 2 Assault Vests on, you're going to reduce the damage by 30, which from the attack, and then another 40 for each assault vest. So you would reduce the damage by 110 damage. So when they come to try to knock out your Entei with a Night March, they're not going to be able to take him out because they would literally have to do 240 damage, and the only way they could do that is to overextend, and that would force them to have to put 11 Night Marchers in the discard pile and have a muscle band. And even if they did overextend and do that, then the very next turn you come back with your next Entei and take it out, take the next Pokemon out the following turn. So anyway, Entei makes Quad Entei has been pretty strong here. Now we do play, some of the decks are playing 2 Charizards. I'm just opting to play 1. Again, with Combustion Blast, it has that same feel where it can hit 170, same energy attachments, and he can only have 1 muscle band, so he can still hit the 170 mark. But he's a little bit bulkier. And we can actually attach an Assault Vest to him too if we need to, and Combustion Blast will still hit 150. If we're going against EXs, we could do 150 and then 60, which is 210, which is going to take out a lot of Megas. So Chairzard's in there just to give us a help in that matter. Alright, so that's basically the idea here. So let's take a look at basically all of our items and supporters and supporting cast, I should say. We play 3 Shaman. I'm actually finding that most city decks that are doing really, really well are actually opting to play 3 Shaman. 4 may be a little overkill. 2, if one of them's prized, I find that I usually need at least 2 for the setup ability in a game, and sometimes 3. And if one of them's prized, then if you're only running 2, then you don't get but 1 setup until you can release the other shaman. And if both of them are prized, then you don't even get the setup ability. And 3 gives you a really good chance of at least having 1 to get going if you need it. So we're playing 3 for the setup. 4 acrobikes. Again, this is just a very speed version, so we're going to just try to roll through our deck. We want to get fire energy in the discard pile as quickly as possible so we can blacksmith. We're playing a heavy count of blacksmith, so acrobike helps us put discard energy so that we can then blacksmith the energy back on. Play 1 echo arm. Since we're playing tool cards here, a lot of times they can get and we're playing 2 of them on usually each Entei, so a lot of times they can get damaged. When they get knocked out, we lose them, and they go to the discard pile, so we can bring them back. I meant to say when Entei gets damaged, but anyway, we can bring them back with the Echo Arm and reuse those tools. Shuffle 3 back into our deck, so that can be very useful to help us get more tools back on Entei. Play 2 Professor's Letter, and the reason we play 2 of these is because it comes with Scorched Earth to help us use the synergy there. Scorched Earth, we play 4 of these. We can discard a fire energy and draw 2 cards. So with Professor's Letter, that allows us to take 1 of those energies and discard it, getting us another energy in the discard pile, and then we can usually like Ultra Ball the other one away and then blacksmith all on 1 turn. So very useful there. We play 4 Trainer's Mail to get us into acrobikes, Ultra Balls, our Stadium, VS Seekers, and Supporters. Very useful card there. Ultra Ball helps us get Shamans, helps us get the Enteis, Chairzard if we need it, so play 4 of those, and also helps us discard the energy. Play 4 VS Seeker here, which allows us to reuse our supporters. And we actually play a pretty small line of supporters. If you haven't noticed, the meta has shifted more to an item and ability based draw as opposed to supporter draw. So like if you're used to black and white where you have Colress and Inn and Juniper, well, we are now more into Shaman draw, Unknown draw, Acrobright draw. So that allows us to play less draw supporters. If you'll notice, I'm only playing 2 Sycamores in this deck. I know that's pretty scary. And we're actually playing 4 Blacksmith just because we want to hit that Blacksmith right at the right time. And so we can use it to charge up Entei. Play 1 Giovanni. This helps us hit that a little bit higher mark if we need to hit 180, because there are some EXs that we need to hit for 180. Giovanni will help us do that, so we can do double muscle band here, heat tackle for 170, and then Giovanni gets it up to 190. So we play the 1 Giovanni. I like to play 1 Hex. I know a lot of people aren't playing this in their decks, but you know, we still have Aegislash is a thing. Now technically he is weak to us, but it's just still nice. I really like, and I also like to slow down my opponent if I can do it on like turn 1, which won't always happen. Matter of fact, in this deck we really want to do Blacksmith more, but if we know our opponent's going with bats, we want to keep the bats away for a turn, and we can afford to. Hex Maniac can just be that that 1 turn reprieve to help us win the battle. Play 2 Lysander in every deck. Just about every deck I play 2 Lysander. Just grab your opponent's bench Pokemon and put it to the active, and then knock it out. This wins games. I mean, if you ask any good player that goes to tournaments, what probably the number 2 supporter is after Sycamore, at least in this format right now, most people will say Lysander is the one, and that you should have a couple of those. I mentioned we play 2 Sycamores, discard your hand and draw 7. 4 Scorched Earths counter Stadium, but also it helps us with more draw power. In this deck, Fire and Fighting can use this Stadium for more draw power, so we can discard a Fire and then draw 2 cards. I already talked a little bit about the the tool cards. Assault Vest, we put that on to reduce damage by 40 when our opponent's playing Special Energy, and then Muscle Man gives us an extra 20 to our attack. So we can use any combination of these on our Enteis. We can use 2 double Muscle Man to hit 170, or we can do double Assault Vest to reduce damage by 80, and use Flame Screen, which will reduce damage by 110. So anyway, guys, that's the deck profile. I'll have some more videos showing this deck actually in battle. I guess I should mention the energy. We'll put running 8 fire energies and 4 double colorless. And basically the idea is we attach the double colorless blacksmith the fire energy. So you rarely are going to attach fire energy with this deck. Anyway, guys, this is PokeDad updating an old deck profile that I did probably a couple months ago. But anyway, hope you enjoy. This has been doing very well at City, so if you don't know what deck to play, and this could be potential for you. Anyway, guys, this is PokeDad signing off. Hit like, subscribe, and put your comments below. Thanks. Bye.